This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
By identifying and removing small cancers and precancerous polyps called adenomas, screening colonoscopies can decrease the risk of death from colon cancer. But the quality of the actual colonoscopy is important. One way to assess quality is to measure how often these procedures identify precancerous polyps, known as the adenoma detection rate. A new study examined how different adenoma detection rates might affect colon cancer outcomes and cost.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Karen Vaccaro just had her first screening colonoscopy 3 weeks ago. She had put off this test for several years because of concerns about the prep and also fear about what the doctor might find.
I knew that I wanted to have it done at a place where the quality of the work was really very high.
It's important to have a properly trained physician who is aware of their overall polyp detection rate.
This is known as the adenoma detection rate. An adenoma is a type of polyp that is benign but could grow into colon cancer over time. The adenoma detection rate can vary widely depending on who is performing the colonoscopy.
When you have this variation in detection rates, it leads to a lot of adverse consequences.
Dr. Chaik Daubeni from the University of Pennsylvania and co-authors used clinical information from more than 57,000 patients who underwent colonoscopy by 136 gastroenterologists from the Kaiser Permanente system. The data, including adenoma detection rate and key clinical outcomes related to colon cancer, were incorporated into a mathematical model using a process known as microsimulation. The model was used to estimate real-life outcomes based on different adenoma detection rates, colon cancer-related deaths, and costs of screening.
With higher quality of colonoscopy, the lifetime risk of colorectal cancer, as well as the risk of dying from colorectal cancer, was lower. If your physician had a lower detection rate, patients' outcomes were less favorable than if you had a higher detection rate, colonoscopies. With the test, your benefit screening is even better.
The national priority to make sure that we have 80% of the eligible population in the U.S. screened by 2018.
Karen received good news. Her colonoscopy was clean, no polyps.
I realized that I should not have waited. I'll go right when the 10 years are up, not a problem.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Colorectal cancer is the second leading cause of death in the United States. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley has called for the removal of the Confederate flag from the grounds of the State House. Haley said this flag, while an integral part of our past, does not represent the future of our great state. The announcement came amid growing calls for the state to remove the Confederate flag from the grounds of the State House. Hundreds of people gathered for a protest rally against the Confederate flag in Columbia, South Carolina, Saturday. The shift from the state's top elected officials marks a momentous milestone in a decades-old debate that was reignited and quickly gained momentum in the wake of the deadly racially motivated shooting that killed 9 African Americans last week. Less than a week after the shooting, calls for the Confederate flag to be taken down have quickly snowballed from local officials and civil rights activists to the upper South Carolina politicians. Dave Champion no longer has his Dave Champion show here at KPVM-TV. He's now bringing that show to the web. He is, however, co-hosting a show with Bill Carnes called Totally Unprepared. We caught up with Champion, who is a little upset about what he thinks is happening because he is so outspoken in the media.
You know, I was shocked when I came home Sunday afternoon to my house. Logan Gibbs, who was assigned either to narcotics or street crimes, was in his Nye County undercover vehicle staking out my home.
How do you know he was staking out your home?
I live on a cul-de-sac with a bunch of elderly people and me, so unless he was there investigating one of those 80-year-old people, pretty certain he was here for me. Plus, of course, the Dave Champion Show, I've covered a lot of stuff about the Sheriff's Department and the Stress Six, of which Logan Gibbs is one. I think there's all sorts of motivations. Unfortunately, 100% of them would be corrupt motivations for the Sheriff's Department to start trying to initiate some pay.
Is that what you think that's happening?
I think it's too early to tell. I certainly think with this administration, from the day Sharon Worley got sworn in and Dave Berukowitz was promoted and is essentially running the department behind the veil of Sharon Worley's name, I think it certainly is something that is very realistic to consider. Am I saying that's exactly what's going on? Time will tell, but I certainly think it's a possibility.
How long was he there for, and did you speak to him?
I don't know how long he was there for. When I pulled up, I recognized the vehicle, and through the tinted windows at a particular angle, I could identify him. And so as I turned into my driveway, I was, as you can imagine, I'm shocked. Here's an undercover cop staking out my house. I'm a law-abiding citizen. So I looked very definitively at the vehicle, and as I pulled up into my garage, and of course I was intending to get out and walk over, he took off like a bat out of hell.
Did you call the sheriff's department and ask them what's going on?
I haven't. I mean, who's in charge? I mean, there's all I'm going to get is lies and platitudes. If there's something stinky going on, they don't care. This is not an administration of moral rectitude.
Are you going to speak to the sheriff about it, or do you think that something's happening maybe they're investigating you for?
You know, interestingly, there's a book written called 3 Felonies a Day, which is written by an attorney, and it talks about the fact that all of us, as we go about our day, inadvertently commit crimes. So could they be trying to trump something up against a law-abiding citizen? They could, of course. And, you know, because I'm a member of the media, I hope that they take a deep breath and understand that intruding on the constitutionally protected rights of the media under color of authority is a felony and 10 years in prison. So I hope they take that into consideration as they're considering whatever they're cooking up.
We did ask Sheriff Sharon Worley about Dave Champion's claims that he is being watched. She said she can confirm that Detective Logan Gibbs was doing surveillance that day. However, Champion's house was not the target. In fact, Detective Gibbs did not even know where Champion resides. General Mills, the maker of kids' cereals such as Lucky Charms and Count Chocula, says it will drop artificial flavors and coloring from all of its cereals. Some cereals will still be colored, but the new coloring will be from natural sources such as vegetable juices and spice extracts rather than chemicals like red dye number 40 and yellow dyes 5 and 6, which are currently found in Lucky Charms. Some of its best-selling brands, such as the various versions of Cheerios, have already dropped artificial flavors and coloring from artificial sources. But almost 40% of the cereals still depend on those chemicals. The company expects to have 90% of its products free from those artificial ingredients by the end of next year. When we return, we're going to tell you about the upcoming senior prom. Welcome back to News 46. The second annual senior prom will be held Saturday night at the Prump Senior Center.
We have our second annual senior prom coming up on the 27th of June. It's a Saturday evening from 6 to 10, open to the whole community. Hope everybody will come. We had a great time at our last prom, and we're ready to do it again. Creekside Hospice, Kathy and Creekside Hospice are sponsoring it for us again this year.
This is for seniors, right?
Yeah, well, it's open to everybody, but it is for the senior center. All proceeds are going to the senior center, Meals on Wheels, and their transportation department.
You know what was so great last time is seeing everybody get all dressed up and come out and just have such a great time.
Absolutely. We had prom dresses. We even had a few not a requirements. Come in your knowns. I don't care. Just come and have a great time because we will have a lot of fun. Yeah. And our friend Deanna here is DJing for us, even though she won't admit it. And she did a great job last year, and everybody wants her back. So Deanna's DJing. We'll have food, hors d'oeuvres. Just a fun night. Tickets are $10 a person, and they're available here at the center or through Kathy at Creekside, or the night of the dance even. So.
Right. And even if you don't have a date, come on down.
Come on down.
Absolutely. We'll pair you up. Also, we are going to have some other entertainment, too, this year. The Silver Tappers are going to do a little show for us, and the Cloggers are going to do a little routine for us. So we'll have some extra entertainment during dinner.
Fun.
Extra support from the community. A lot of the businesses are donating raffle items to us. Wow. So we're going to have some really nice raffle items available. So
this is going to be a lot of fun, and it's next Saturday night, the 27th. What time?
6 to 10 in the evening.
And for more information,
call us at 727-5008 or Kathy at
Creekside Hospice, 727-7000.
That's going to be lots of fun. Let's join Courtney Salmon with Weekend Sports.
The Pahrump Valley 16U and 14U baseball teams both lost to the Las Vegas Mustangs this weekend. The 16U team lost 8-7 and will be playing Moapa Valley High School tomorrow at Liberty High School in Las Vegas. And the 14U team lost 9-6 and played this morning at Legacy High School against the Las Vegas Longhorns. The Pahrump Valley Junior Golf Association had another golf tournament today at Lakeview Golf Course. I will have results for that on Thursday. In the professional golf world, 21-year-old Jordan Spieth has become the youngest golfer to win the U.S. Open and the Masters in the same season since Bobby Jones did it in 1923. Spieth won the U.S. Open this weekend, edging out Dustin Johnson on the 18th hole. Spieth and Johnson were tied at 4 under par going into the final hole. Both golfers landed on the green of the par 5 in just 2 shots, giving both of them an opportunity to eagle. Spieth 2-putted for a birdie, ending the tournament for him at 5 under. Johnson had a chance to beat Spieth, or at least tie and go into a shootout, but Johnson 3-putted and settled for second place. UNLV graduate and 2013 Masters champion Adam Scott finished in 4th place at 3 under par. Today is the knockout round in the FIFA Women's World Cup for the United States and Colombia. Colombia is going into this game believing that the United States has no respect for them, firing up some pretty harsh words. Colombian star Ureli Rincon told the press that the American team does not have the heart that they have, and Lady Andrade feels the American women are belittling the Colombian team. However, there's no direct reference to any incidents of the U.S. women doing anything of the sort. In fact, after their last meeting in 2012, after Andrade of Colombia hit Amy Wambach in the face, giving her 2 black eyes, the U.S. women have nothing but nice things to say about the Colombian team. Wambach even said, "They're a sleeper team. They're living above expectations, and that is awesome. It's always fun to root for those teams." The one thing that both teams can agree on is that it's a knockout match and they will leave everything on the field. They play today at 5 on Fox Sports. In the NFL, Tom Brady will begin the appeal process tomorrow after being suspended for 4 games for allegedly deflating footballs in the AFC Championship game. This will determine whether or not the New England Patriots will have their star quarterback and future Hall of Famer for the first quarter of the season. This has been Weekend Sports. I'm Courtney Solomon with News 46.
Thanks so much, Courtney. Niagara Bottling has issued a voluntary recall on products bottled from 3 a.m. June 10th of 2015 to 8 p.m. June 15th of 2000. Hamburg, Pennsylvania and Allentown, Pennsylvania tested positive for the bacteria and notified them late. No injury or illness has been reported to the company in relation to the contamination, but Niagara advises consumers not to drink the water before boiling it for 1 minute and letting it cool. E. coli can cause diarrhea, cramps, nausea, headaches, or other symptoms. When we return, we'll have your weather with Noah Began.